What if I told you there's one thing that can make you more likely to stick to your goals by 50%? 59% of individuals who visualize their goal feel confident about actually achieving them, compared to 30% of those who don't. That brings me to a vision board, which I'm going to open right now. So I hope that y'all are all having a great new year. I spent the new year just creating my goals, taking it easy, did some reflection, and just got clear on what I actually wanted. And I just got in my vision board, so I wanted to open it with you guys today. I made it on Canva, and this is one of my first prints I got from Canva. So yeah, I made this on Canva. I made this year's very personalized. You can see that's like an AI generated image of me. I did some Photoshop, like making my credit loan balance 0, making a YouTube profile, all this. That brings me to the power of a vision board. The images and affirmations that you have on a vision board really engage your subconscious mind, and studies in neuroscience have shown that when you repeatedly see something and imagine your goals, your brain will start to create new neural pathways, making those goals more achievable because it's going to start to look out for evidence and opportunities to move you closer to that goal, because your brain wants to close the loop on that, essentially. And it really just keeps your goals on top of mind. Just seeing the images repeatedly will really keep your goals in mind, keep you focused on them, because I think one of the issues we all have when it comes to like the new year is forgetting the goals that we set for ourselves in the beginning of the year. It just increases the likelihood that we will actually take steps toward achieving those goals. And once we see that momentum and once we see those opportunities, it gives us more momentum and motivation to keep on our pursuit of those goals. So it's just a really cool process that moves you forward instead of like holds you back. In fact, high performers like athletes and Olympians use similar visualization technique to enhance their performance. Because the creation of vision boards is such like a artsy and crafty type project, it really taps into the brain's creative centers, which is really cool, which will help you clarify your desires in a deeper way and find innovative ways of actually achieving them, because you're tapping into that circuitry. So the very act alone can bring unexpected insights and ideas. One of my biggest takeaways from making vision boards this way is, like I said, making it more intentional. Therefore, I wanted to cultivate like strong positive emotions with the images that I was putting on my vision board. That's why just looking at aesthetic pictures isn't enough. You really want to go through the process of imagining how those things will feel and post images that relate to that. One of my biggest things is I have not been able to like cultivate this strong sense of community. I'm introverted, and so I really like deep connections, and it's really, I think for all of us, we're unmotivated really to invest time, especially if like you're a type A achiever, into like cultivating deep relationships. And it's really been like one of the goals that have been something been trying to achieve for like the longest time, is that sense of just pure joy in my friendships and relationships. And so something I did a little bit differently this year, instead of like having a circle of friends, just seeing that, I'm pulling it back to the emotion, and I have this picture here. What I would see as having a really good dinner with people and with friends, and just seeing all the happiness and the laughter, and like the cheersing and stuff like that with this guy. So that's what I mean with like trying to cultivate the different emotions and bringing that into your vision board, rather than just like a circle of friends. Like I want to feel that pure joy being around friends. So that's why I included pictures like that. And like something like this, like the picture of like dancing with somebody like that, that's just like the pure spontaneity and joy of being with somebody, taking you outside of your comfort zone and everything like that. I don't know about you, but I really hate that feeling at the end of the year when I'm reflecting. I'm like, what did I actually do this year? Like I knew like I grew in some ways, but I was actually never able to identify tangible progress. And I got really frustrated with that. I was so tired of just like losing track of my goals and letting like daily demands overrule my life, really keeping me not moving forward in a very sustainable and big way. And that's what I want to change this year and going forward. Just writing down your goals improves your chances of actually accomplishing them by 42%. So there in itself is just a win. And like, expressing it creatively, I think is just a more awesome way. So just getting something on a piece of paper, you'll benefit from it more. I'm all about taking action, and that's something that I really strive to do each and every day, each and every week, really putting to action those needle moving activities. I like to remind myself to review my goals, and I actually batch my days. So each day I have a specific batch, and whatever tasks are related to that batch, I'll focus on that day. On Wednesdays is actually my personal growth and goals day. So I actually review my goals on those days. Any actions I need to take, I'll either schedule them on my calendar those days or take action on them then and there. I'm reminding myself of them weekly. I get to review them, which I think is just a really good way of staying on track. You can even do this monthly. Have a goal day maybe on the first, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. Have 3 goal days a month, and that's really helpful. And then reflecting on them each month. But over the last couple of years, I have just become like a vision board junkie, not just with like my annual vision board, but I do like a vision board monthly, or you could do it seasonally just to embrace the season. So I'll make like a vision board for each month of things I want to focus on that month. I know it's kind of overkill. But I'll share like some pictures of it. And I will sometimes include some things on my annual vision board on these monthly visions. But I really like to just have some seasonal practices in there so that I'm embracing each season, not just letting the year pass me by. I'm really like grounded in what I'm doing. I'm so intentional with what I do. Each thing, there's a reason behind why I'm doing it. I create a lot throughout the year, and I think it's just a fun way to stay motivated and inspired to do more on your weekdays than just work and watch Netflix or something like that. I don't do it with magazines anymore. Magazines probably are a better way of really getting yourself involved and tactile with the process, but I do a digital one, and I printed it, but I also have the digital version like in my Notion. And then underneath of it, I'll write some bullets of what some of these things actually mean to me. Like for this one, really means for me, it's not just like being healthy. It's like I really want to not eat so many processed foods, make sure that I have fresh veggies in my fridge every week and like fresh things to eat for snacks and things like that. So that's really my intention with this photo. So I'll like put bullet that underneath of the vision. And this year I created a chat GPT script to make goals out of the things on my vision boards, and I can share that. There will be a link below, and it's been really cool to see what it comes up with. I'm obsessed with like ChatGPT right now. I use it for everything. And then like I write that down as my goals to review each week. And then lastly, I think a fun thing about having vision boards is I've been doing this for a few years now, is at the end of the year, I'll go through my vision board and I'll circle the things that like manifested into reality, or like I'll write it on the back, the things that happened in relation to my vision board, and like I keep them. So I have like a few years now. It's just really cool to see how you have grown, because I think especially for me, it's hard for me to like celebrate my progress or even recognize my progress. So just having that tangible thing is just a really beneficial thing. But it comes with this disclaimer. If your vision board is too vague, it's really not going to work. I think your brain is going to just call BS. And I think this ties into like, if you don't believe you can do something, you probably won't do it. That's why like affirmations don't always work, because if you don't actually believe what you're saying in the affirmation, your brain just can't get there. There's just too much of a gap, and your brain is not going to be motivated to close the gap. Everything on here are things that I can realistically see myself in. There's nothing here that is like too grand. Like I'm like, I can't achieve that this year. Therefore, I want to go into like how to actually organize your images once you think about want to include on it. And sometimes this can be a little bit overwhelming. And I found something that helps is just like picturing the wheel of life. You can look it up online, and that divides your life into different areas. And that way you can paste images from each life area on your vision board to make it more balanced and not just too focused on one thing, just to ensure balance throughout the year. Different life areas could be like health and wellness, career, relationships, personal growth, etc. Take a minute with each of these life areas that you find on the wheel of life to really imagine your ideal state in each one of them, and what does that feel like? What does that look like? First, create that vision for yourself, and then go find the images that resemble it. And Pinterest is really good because it is a search engine tool, so you can really do like a narrowed search on what you're looking for. And a helpful tip that I use for everything is like if you put the word aesthetic behind whatever you're typing in, Pinterest will give you like cuter images, which is just fun. For example, eat healthy aesthetic or eat non-processed foods aesthetic. And, I'll give you something like that. I don't know. Or like apartment aesthetic. And that's where I got this image. My other tip for vision boards that I did this year, instead of having like random images like scattered throughout, like your a vacation goal here, vacation goal here, vacation goal here, like kind of group them together so that your brain can really associate what it is that you're actually wanting and not, if it's too scattered, it's not going to have enough of a visual impact. So yeah, I have like all my health and wellness down here. So like taking supplements, juicing, blah, blah, blah. My career up here, social and recreational type stuff here, like traveling. And then I have like, yeah, I'm just self-care, relationship, a home in the middle because my personal environment is something that I'm really one of my big goals this year is really to have a place that I feel more at home in. So I put it in the center. And it's also helps when I'm planning my year because I'm really into seasonality and I like to like theme my quarters. So like winter, I have like a specific thing I'm going for. So like right now I'm more in now that it's January. I know a lot of people are like in the hustle bustle of the new year and trying to like achieve all their goals, do all their fitness things, all this. I'm really like taking a minute to like slow down and work on balance. The winter months are more for like slowing down, living more of a Huga, I hope I'm saying, I think that's the way you say it. Lifestyle, like really just cooking and like lighting candles and having more of an evening routine, not waking up so early because it's freezing. Whereas in the March in the summer months, I'm more active and I'm more outdoors. I'm taking like evening walks, doing that type of thing. So I kind of relate my goals to that. So like now I'm working more on like scheduling dinners with friends and stuff like that. And so like I can kind of focus on one area of the board at a time and it's not so overwhelming. And I think it helps you just really, focus is really what we're after here. So the more focused you can make it, the better. And I think theming it and focusing one area at a time is really beneficial. And that's how I approach it. And I think it's just a lot more fun and motivating that way too. I batch everything. Like my brain is I have streamlined my entire life. Like I have my days that I focus on certain things for work and for personal, and then I have my months where I'm like focus on specific things for each area of my life. Like it's all very like streamlined. I mean, it's like a clock. Like there's no like going here and then going here and then going. Like I have too many things on my plate, and I used to live like that, and just overwhelm hit me in the face like a brick. So we are now in a lot more of a flow, and it's really more sustainable. And then my last tip for that is I'm also a very fan of the Wheel of Life, as you probably knew. And I try to eat at least each quarter, if not each month, to evaluate my life against the Wheel of Life. From there, like if you're doing really well in like career, but you're lacking a self-care, like you can refer to your vision board and like focus on the self-care aspect of it. And like what does that look like for you? Just gear your brain towards that so you can adjust and not be too much in one area and just lacking in another. And then you really don't get anywhere when you live that way either. You have to you can't achieve perfect balance, but you can try to be more balanced. So now that you know what my reflection and like the process I go through of how I use my vision board, some of the things that I've done this for a few years, but I'll include affirmations on them. So here's like an affirmation because overall, personal growth is about becoming the person that you are to be, not achieving the things that you want. It's about who you're being in that process. That's why I like to add the affirmations and quotes and things like that. But here are some like other things to think about when you're trying to decide what to include on your vision board. You can include things that you're already proud of, like pictures of you already achieving something that you want or want to grow in more. Just remind yourself you are capable of doing hard things, that you're a work in progress, and there's always like another level of growth on top of what you've already achieved. Something I've done this year is I've edited photos. So I took a screenshot of what I wanted, like for YouTube subscribers. So I took a screenshot on YouTube and then edited it on Canva. Another fun thing that I did is I've used an AI photo generator in the past, like when they were kind of a cool thing to do. And so I have an album of AI photo generated photos. And so I included some of those on here. It's just an ideal state of like how I want to look, how I want to dress. You can also, instead of just like looking things up on Pinterest, you can look at things that you've saved on your social media accounts because they inspired you in some way initially. So including some of those on your vision board would be like a really cool thing to do as well. And besides just like the photo generators, you can also use other AI tools to create more like specific and custom photos for you. So example would be like for an apartment or for a house, if I wanted a house, what are the specific things that I want in a house, and put that into AI and have AI come up with an image and then put that on your vision board is a really cool thing. I didn't do that, but I think I'll do that next year. And lastly, I just wanted to share with you what my vision board ritual is like. It works best when it's part of your daily life, but when you see stuff every day, you can become a nose blind to it. Maybe switch it around every month, like keep it by your desk 1 month, keep it by your bed 1 month, keep it in your bathroom 1 month. Just moving it around, I think will just keep it fresh in your mind. Another thing is to really reflect on your vision board, immerse in it a little bit more, like really think about how these things will make you feel, more your internal motivation for getting them, your why behind them, just really reflecting on that is a more powerful way than just, seeing it in your corner of your eye every, hour or so. That's really all I have for you guys. Just imagine looking back on 2025 and being able to circle all these things on your vision board. I'm a core believer, like, if it's something that came out of your brain, like, because I can guarantee you every single vision board that everyone has ever made all looks very different. So if it came from you, it's something that is meant for you. So it's achievable and you just have to work towards it. That's my hope for you guys this year. Share with me in the comments some of your vision board tips. And let's make this year your breakthrough year. In my case, this year's going to be my God did it year. I found that quote and I have it like at the very top, and I just love that. But again, with this disclaimer, while vision boards are excellent for motivation, for visualization, when you rely on them too much, there's a risk that you won't be able to achieve your full potential with them. Without actionable steps, they can give you a false sense of progress or just disappointment that you didn't get as far as you wanted. So I like to have more of a concrete plan with vision boards. I've heard mixed emotions with this, like, let it be free. I like to actually work. I like to set my goals based on what is on my vision board, because these are things that I actually want to achieve. So if you would like to have the ChatGPT scripts that I created to create the goals based on my vision board, just click the link below and I will see you all next time. And don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll be doing goal setting and goal type videos all month long.